having problems now. Alright, it's on. What's the name of it again?
Talking business with banks. That's it.
Now it should go live on Facebook. So Facebook requires a little bit extra work. Alright, should be up there. Do you want to check on your Facebook to see that's up?
Okay.
Hey, you want to intro this?
You can enjoy it today since
I'm interviewing you.
yes, sir.
Oh, all right.
I'm your guest tonight.
Oh, you're my guest on Talking Business with Banks Dastine. All right.
I am your guest tonight.
Also, I love how we have this plastic plant in front of us. Not that I have a problem with the plastic plant. It's more of we're having a discussion here, but I can't see it through the plant.
Hey, I can remove it if you like.
It's fine. It's fine. We can leave the plant. I like the view of the plant better.
I'll move it.
Guys, welcome to Talking Business with Banks Dastine. We're talking business with Mr. Banks himself, Mr. Dastine. How are you today, sir?
I'm doing very, very well, and thank you for another episode Talking Business with Banks Dastine podcast.
Also, in between us is a giant plastic plant. It's a lovely
It's a real
plant.
plant from the Caribbean, from Haiti.
Are they all plastic in the Caribbean?
No, I'm joking.
They're all synthetic plants.
Synthetic.
So yeah, today I guess we're turning the tables. I'm gonna be the one interviewing. It's gonna be it's gonna be a discussion. It's gonna be inquiring minds trying to find out more about Mr. Banks Dastine here. We are shooting. You've called it the Purple Bar, the Purple Lounge. It's been known as Diddy's. Sometimes as a Caribbean restaurant, sometimes as a bar and lounge, and it's a beautiful bar and lounge. Got a nice big backyard. But how did you end up at this lovely space?
This lovely space. It started. I started the business with a food shop. That's how I got into the food business.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I did not want to go into a business. I had no idea. Don't want to spend too much money So first I started a food truck. My cousin helped me build it, and the truck was purple. That's how we got the purple color.
Ah.
So I just keep the team ever since the purple color.
That's a good like sometimes you have a color scheme that works for you. Purple's a very good, I think people like purple. Like it has it has an identity to it. You kind of walk in and I think it's a good choice as far as like kind of maintaining that theme throughout the food truck, the location, even when you've changed kind of concepts and ideas, you've stuck with that. Where do you see this business going now that you are, you had the food truck first, then it kind of was a food place, and now
it's still a food place. At least it's still a food place, but we focus more on entertainment. Like I want to create a vibe, a New York City type of lounge. People can come with live music, having a good time, listening with some good music, have some very good drinks, feel like, live life a little.
Gotcha. And what are some of your inspirations for like when you got into business? Because you've been a big business guy. We talked about it before. You seem to be tied to a lot of different things. You're in politics. You're in town politics. And what's been your inspiration through that? Are there any people that you kind of looked up to going through that?
As far as business wise, do I look up? I just love people. Just put it that way. I'm a people person. I love people. And I think with having a place like this, I have a chance to connect with people, connect with the community. And every day I see people, I see different type of people, and it really inspired me to do better. And at some point to make it and give back a little.
Gotcha. So before you opened up Diddy's Lounge and Diddy's I think you had a couple of different names for it in the past, but
we're trying to come up with a concept, something that's working. And so far, I will tell you, the lounge has been working with the live music. People really appreciate it. And before COVID, I was focused more on a burger and wings. And at the time, I had a lot of younger crowd. But with COVID, that will stop 100%. So I had to think fast. And one of the best way is to focus on entertainment, not just food, because food business is very, very, very hard. So, but entertainment, it helps bring the people. People don't just want to come out just for food no more. They wanna vibe. They wanna be able to take some selfie. They just wanna post something on Facebook, on Instagram now. So that's what I'm trying to create right now.
Gotcha. So it's an adaptation kind of thing as to what the world is compared to what it was. What got you into? Because we touch on it quite a bit in the past couple of episodes. What made you want to get into business? Because it seems like you're truly in love with the business of business itself. Like you've had a couple of businesses. You do a paralegal business where you do a few different things. You have this going on. It seems like you're very much involved with like the business of business.
Yeah, I would say yes. I'm very involved. What is business in a way? So, I have with business, it gives me a taste of freedom. Like the first time, I don't have to go to work 9 to 5 and just be free. It feels so good, and I guess I don't want to go back. I work harder, 16 hours every day, almost 6-7 days a week, but I'm still full of energy and very happy. So with that freedom, I don't want to give it up. It's just I have one life to live, and I'm fortunate enough to have that freedom. It doesn't matter if I work all my life that way, but I feel like I'm free. I don't have to answer pretty much to anybody.
Gotcha. Yeah, the freedom thing's a big deal. Not having to answer to a particular person. I guess we all have to answer to somebody.
Yes.
But to not have that direct boss, because like who you answer to now is your customer base. The people who you work with, the people who are, your landlord, those are the people you answer to. But it's a different relationship. You're on the same side. Almost.
Yes.
Like you're kind of evened out. You each have like different things that you have as far as leverage and negotiation.
Yes.
So what's your favorite part about that? Like what's like as far as, because like you said, you like the freedom of it, But
I like the process. Let's just put that. I do love the process, not so much the success, because I tell a lot of people you don't really learn a lot about success, but failure, from failing, you grow a lot and you learn so much more. So the process will be the key for me, and that's where I grow a lot about business, and I learn so much.
So what's the biggest thing you've learned about business?
It takes time and it's very costly. You know, you just that because you go in business doesn't mean you're gonna be successful. It just takes some time. You have to be able to adapt. You know, if that doesn't work, what you're gonna do next, and then you just have to have a big dream. If the dream big enough, everything else don't really matter because you going after that dream. And you know, everybody know I work hard. I want to be successful. It's not a secret. I want to be a billionaire someday. And then that's why I dream so big, and every day it really helped me. Because the restaurant, I started with real estate. Real estate helped me get into the food business. Now the food business is funding my technology company, and I don't know where I'm gonna go next. So every day it's funding something else, and that's where I get my goal.
So you mentioned that you started in real estate. In what way did you start in real estate?
Like my cousin, we started flipping houses back in 2009. You know, buy single family, fix it up, and sell it.
Gotcha.
And that's where I make some real money. And then ever since we've been doing that.
And what was your part in that flipping business?
The flipping business was mostly looking for the deal, the paperwork, the tax return, make sure my credit is good, make sure his credit is good, make sure we pay our taxes. So when we go to the bank, we apply, we get approved. So my cousin was mostly on the construction side of it.
Gotcha. So you were more of the financial, the business end of it, and he was more of the, you know, basically fixing it up to flip it.
Fix it up, yeah. And that saved us a lot of money because people don't know when you flip, if you get a contractor, it can cost you a lot more money. But since we partner, he didn't really charge me for that. And you know, I went on my financial skills. He bought his construction skill set, so it was a perfect fit.
Gotcha. And then you went from that into the food business.
You know, went on that, make some money, and then I decided to take some of the proceeds from that and open my first place in Spring Valley.
Gotcha. Yeah. And where was
actually I used that money to open the one in Suffolk at the time.
Oh.
Yeah.
So when you started the one in Spring Valley, because the one in Spring Valley was the food truck, right?
The one in Spring Valley was a food truck, but at the same time I had the food trucks for about 6 months. But at the same time I opened another storefront in Spring Valley. Gotcha.
And when you opened the food trucks, what did you learn about like kind of starting that kind of a business? Because what attracted you to that? Was it the low overhead? Was it the...
No, the food truck is definitely... my ideal is... I started with the food truck. I said, if it doesn't work, I can always sell it and get my money back.
Gotcha.
But it started picking up. People started liking Didi. The name became so popular. And that's why I decided, you know what? It's time to do a storefront fast.
Gotcha.
And it was the same year I opened the truck. I believe it was in May 2017. That's when I started the food truck, and I opened the storefront 6 months later. That was probably in November 2017 in Spring Valley.
So did you have any roadblocks when you had the food trucks? Was there any kind of things that were like, I know some businesses get upset when, you know, you like say you were to park on like, were you parking on public property? Were you parking in parking lots?
I park in private property. There was a person on a private lot.
Mm-hmm.
I park there. You know, you pay monthly like rent, and then you do it. But it's not so easy. It's still a lot of work, even though doing a food truck. So that's why I only did it for 6 months, and I never go back.
So you would never do the food truck thing again?
I would never go food truck again.
Is it because of the work, the limited amount of money, the space?
I mean, it's a good way for somebody who's trying to start into the food business. Now, I feel like I'm very experienced in that sense. So going back, it feels like backward to me. So I'm going to keep moving forward.
But you were able to turn a profit with the food trucks?
Food truck is very profitable.
Oh, really?
More profitable than the storefront.
Really?
Very. Because
wow.
Storefront, you have to pay so... At the time, you're not paying no rent.
Yeah.
Food cost is very low. No electricity. You just like makes... The money you take home, it's a lot more.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And how did you feel about the competition? Was there a lot of competition at the food trucks?
I was lucky. was probably one of the first. That's probably a couple more, but I was probably one of the first who started with the food truck back then. Now there's a ton of them.
And what happened with the food trucks? Did you sell them
I
off?
had it for like a couple of years. It was parked at my place in Spring Valley. I had it for like a couple of years, and during COVID, I didn't really want to go back doing it. I sold it. I sold it at the same time. I sold it, and I sold the place in Spring Valley, and just focus on building this place in Suffolk. And because I would say any business you're doing, you got to put the time into it. You cannot just open a business and let somebody run it for you. First, you put the time, and when you understand the business, now I can freely just leave the business to somebody else to run it because I understand the business, you know. So and then I can move on to do something else.
So you had the storefront. You had 2 trucks. You said.
Yeah. So I at one point before COVID, I had a storefront. I had 2 storefront, food trucks, and a meal prep.
Oh.
Yeah.
So. And did that just become too much? Was it too?
Oh, it was too much. Too much.
How many employees did you have at that point? Was it a lot? Was
Not
it
a lot? Spring Valley at one point we had 4 or 5. Here in Software maybe 4 or 5, about 10.
All right.
Yeah, not that many.
And was part of the reason why you downsized a little
With
bit?
COVID, I was very uncertain about what COVID was gonna do to the business. So somebody offered to buy it. I said, "I go ahead."
Oh.
Yeah.
So do you keep tabs on that old business or how it's been doing, or?
No, I don't. It's a different business. It's a different name. It's a different type of culture. I think it was I don't even know, but it's different. I don't keep tab. I don't even go there no more. It's just the past is the past, and I keep moving forward.
And now, was that storefront in Spring Valley the same size as the one you have in Suffern, or bigger, or smaller?
The kitchen is definitely bigger,
Mhm.
but the front is more like a takeout at the time. But whoever purchased it, they put some money into it, and they open a small dining area. But Suffern, I was so fortunate enough when I moved to Suffern 5 years ago, and this place used to be a Subway, and then I took it over, and then during COVID, I built the backyard.
Yeah, and that's been a very big attraction to this spot.
Yes.
I know a lot of people who've come through here. If you ever been to Diddy's in Suffern, big backyard. You had parties out there. You do events out there.
With the comedy show, you remember doing COVID? You were doing.
We've done several comedy shows out there.
Comedy, I did this, and then it did. You guys helped put me on the map. Everybody know more about Diddy's backyard than actually the storefront.
Oh, well, there you go.
Because the backyard at some point was a lot nicer than the front. The front, people say they don't understand. That's why I had to build. We designed the front so it can match the backyard.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a disconnect, especially in the beginning, because when I first met you, you almost had to go through a different spot. You had to go through a different part of the building to go into the backyard.
Yes.
And then you kind of restructured the whole. You basically redid this whole place and turned it into a bar and lounge.
Yes.
Kind of setup.
Yeah.
And that now it kind of matches. Like the aesthetic's very similar.
Yes.
And now you've added a lot more TVs, and it's more of a hey, come in and drink and get food and.
Yeah, just try to make a nice vibe place for people to come relax after work, get a cocktail, happy hours. Just relax and unwind yourself before you go home. Oh, it's a nice place. I do get a lot of dates. People come for dates. You want to take somebody out for nice, good food. This is the place to be.
Gotcha. Now, when you're trying to get customers into the bar and lounge area, are you doing different things? Are you doing trivia nights? Are you doing, I know you've done comedy shows. You've done, you've had a lot of DJs and bands, or costume contests.
Yeah,
things
so
like
far
that.
what we're doing is we do a lot of live music because it's a lot of people here in town really appreciate the live music. So I've been doing this like 6 days a week, from Tuesday to Sunday. We have live music from 7 to 10, and a lot of the local. It give me a chance to connect with a lot of the local musicians, and then that. Every day it's a different musician, and they bring their own followers. So it's like I don't have to do too much advertising. It just brings me the flow of the people. And
Gotcha.
They come once, they like the food, they like the drink, they like the place, they like the vibe. They always come back.
Now, do you have an idea of what your next step is going to be, either with Diddy's Lounge or with any other businesses that you're working on?
My other business is Biz Ground Up, definitely. That's where I'm everybody know me. I'm the LLC guy. Every morning I come here. That's where I work for my client. I open, LLC for client, S corp, C corp, non for profit. I do it all. That's the main focus. And restaurant, the way I see it, it gives me a chance to meet people face to face. But also, it's like a 5-10 mile radius. You don't get to see a lot of customer with a technology company. I'm global. So now it give me a better chance to someday reach my goal.
Nice.
Just like to help small business become successful by providing digital marketing, website, create your LLC. If anybody out there, if you're a nurse, if you're a DJ, if you have any sort of profession, you want to open an LLC, I'm your guy.
So do you have a next step in mind for the lounge, for the restaurant?
Yes, I kind of do. I want to keep the lounge the same way it is, but I want to create a concept. It's an idea, but like more turning into what we're doing now, like a studio. It's a restaurant, but it's a studio.
Gotcha.
If somebody want to come and film a sketch, like create content, you can come to my place. You can either do it indoor, outdoor. You can use my kitchen. You can use my bar. Whatever you want to do, you want to film something, we make the time for you. And then you can film it. That's the idea.
And I know you've also mentioned, you've had thoughts of expanding, taking over nearby spots to kind of expand the place of business. I know maybe that didn't always go to strategy. Some places stay longer. They don't, I know there's been talks about trying to take over some local spots. Would you ever open up a second place or no?
Nah. I'm happy with what I have right now. The idea back then was to become a franchise, but I don't. Yeah, food business, it's people don't know, it's very difficult. So I'm happy that I'm doing pretty good, but I do not want to open another restaurant.
Would you want to expand the size of the one you have now?
The size of it, I kind of like it.
Yeah.
You know why? Because it's feel very connect with people, and then it's the concept of it. 1 or 2 people can run the restaurant, so I don't need a chef. I don't need a bartender. It's just like I save a lot on labor.
Gotcha.
So if I were to expand, it's more cost to me.
Yeah.
And then food costs, labor costs, it's one of the things that put people out of business. So I'm trying to keep that under control. So if you come here, it's probably 2-3 people all the time. Whether we have a party of 50 people, 2-3 people can manage it.
Gotcha.
Yes, sir.
What's the biggest, I guess, expense that you've had that you weren't expecting when you went ahead and opened up a restaurant?
Food costs.
Food costs?
Yeah, if you don't calculate your food costs, your portion, that's one of the things the debt's gonna pile up very quickly. And now I'm learning about the bar, even on drinks. People said you make a lot of money on drink, but if you have a bartender that don't measure everything, you can lose a lot of money on at the bartender too.
So that's something I think people would be interested to hear about is that element of the business, of the for instance, the portioning, the pricing, the amount that you pay to kind of go out and, because like, again, you buy everything in bulk or at cost and then you're selling it. But now we're seeing a lot of restaurants. It used to be like a couple of restaurants would be at like this price level, and then a few more be at this one, and then a few more be at the higher level. It's now seeming like a lot more places have boosted their food costs, whether it's because of labor or because of the actual underlying costs of, food, like, inflation's kind of caused things to go up.
Definitely inflation. Labor costs went up, so a lot has to do with labor. So price has to be big. It has to be up to maintain. Because let's just say I'm paying $3,000. To make $3,000, I have to sell a lot of food. I have to sell a lot of drinks just to cover, let's say, the rent. And then let's say you have another $3,000 for labor. You have to make a lot of money to cover that, plus tax.
Gotcha.
It's a lot.
So specifically with the food overhead, right? So you say like food costs a lot. How much is your, I guess, quote, profit on like say an individual burger or on an individual meal? Like, do you know the exact number that you probably get off of an individual, like the
you have to
percentage?
know that numbers. Definitely, you have to know that number. When you need to know that number. If not, this is the idea for a restaurant. Let's say something costs you $1.
Yeah.
You have to actually try to sell it for $4 or $5
Gotcha.
to cover your cost, labor, and everything. It's not like it costs $1, I sell it $2, you make 100%. Now it doesn't work for restaurants, so you have to actually try to make 300 to 500% because to cover everything else. But it's not always the case.
Yeah.
Yeah, most restaurants may be lucky if they get 10 to 15%.
Now, is that the same with alcohol?
Alcohol profit wise is a little bit higher on that, but also if you have a bartender, you know, I mean, they don't count, they can overpour, and that you can lose money. Or sometimes they have friends coming over, or a girl coming over, the guy just giving out free drink for tips. Because sometimes you give more drink, the guy give you better tips. So at the end, it's costing me money.
Yeah.
So that's something you have to watch out.
And how do you normally watch out for those things? You just try to hire, more reputable people? Are you hiring friends? Or when you hire a bartender, what goes into when you're hiring somebody? Because that's like a big element, I think, for a lot of people who run businesses is how do you know, to hire this particular person, whether it's their experience in it or whether they're trustworthy or, do they understand like the cost benefit of what's going on your side of it?
Honestly, the cost benefit and the trust factor, with money, I tell you what, you cannot trust nobody when you come with money. Everybody's good, but when you start seeing money, and you sometimes some things happen. So every restaurant on there will tell you don't trust anybody with money. It doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. Whoever come, you gotta make sure you watch it. You the owner, you make sure you watch everything. You watch the money. You gotta watch everything. That's why a lot of restaurant owner they live in the business. They work. They do the cashier, they cook, they everything because they have to be there.
Yeah, no, I have
for a big franchise that take mostly credit card is different, but small pop and shop, small business is different.
Yeah, no, I have a cousin who has a salon, and one of the questions I always had with her growing up was that she really didn't trust that business to run without her there, and that it's an understandable thing when you're a small mom and pop. It's versus I never had that issue because my business is me. I can't not be there because it's all about my physically being there. Whether it's, running a law practice or doing any of the other stuff that I do. With you, I mean, technically in theory, you can run a restaurant or run a food truck and not physically be there, but it becomes, is that stress level, is that turnaround
that's one
worth
of the
it?
factor because now if you have multiple restaurants, so now you're trying to be at every single restaurant every day, just because you will find people you trust that sometime, but if you don't come there, if you're not in the business, the people that work for you, they're not gonna care the same way. And that's one of the things that will start happening in Spring Valley because I wasn't there so much, and the quality, everything, the food probably not there no more because I'm here, I'm watching everything. I'm watching the way the food is prepped, the way it's being served. I like to taste my food. I do everything. So I'm trying to be consistent on that. But for me to do this, I have to be there. But right now, I'm lucky enough. The people that have been working for me, they've been here for a while. I trust them a lot. So I can go for months, not coming back. They'll still want my business like I was here.
Gotcha. So there is a good level of trust you have with your employees.
Yes, you had some point. Yeah, you got to do right by the people. You got to make them feel... it's my business, but it's yours. It's giving you an opportunity in a way, and then you treat them nicely.
Gotcha. And on the other end of it, it's you have a quality control element of it as well.
Yes.
Where you're able to maintain this is the quality that we're getting out of this. Whether it's the chicken, stuff that's coming in, how the stuff's prepared. The customer service, all of those things kind of run into it.
It's customer service. It's we're very friendly. When you're small business, everybody that's coming there. At least I've probably seen pretty much I probably know a lot of people that come to my place because sometimes small town is almost the same people that come that love your business, that's supporting you. Sometimes once in a while you probably get somebody brand new, but a lot of time it's the same people. So they know what they're getting, and then I really appreciate them.
Yeah, you mentioned this, and I remember when I first started coming here, there were a lot of people who would come in here a lot of the time who were always the same people who knew you, who knew, hey, they were the same. You had repeat business, which is a big thing for a small business, having repeat business.
I would say a good portion of my sale is from the repeat customer. So that's why sometimes when you see brand new people, you be like, oh, you're happy to make the first impression. But a lot of the customers, they come back. At least I have customers that come here like almost every day. You know, whether it's for a drink, whether it's for food, whether it's just to come here, just to see me, you know.
Do you have any stories or lessons you learned about handling customers through like Diddy's? Because like, you know, sometimes you get customers who are hard to deal with. Sometimes you get customers, you know, there's some people who believe the customer's always right. There's sometimes where customers are rude to your staff. There's sometimes where customers, you know, are very nice and they're very supportive. And like, you know, there's sometimes good stories about customer support too.
Yeah, you know, they always say customers are always right, you know, but some customer, they only come once in a while. So I think my employee is always right in a way because they love the business. They're treated the same way I would treat the business. Although we're trying to be nice to everybody, but not everybody want to be nice to us. So if somebody, the people that cause the trouble sometimes is the people, maybe they want to come try it once and they will never come back again. That's the people sometimes they're trying to give you bad reviews. You know, it's part of the business sometimes. So I'm not going to sweat it too much.
Have you ever had any issues with employees?
No, never issue. That's we good. Thank God. Never.
Really?
No.
Because that's sometimes I think a lot of times people's hardest thing is dealing with employees, whether it's, you know, trustworthiness, them, you know, not even them taking money, but showing up late, showing up on time, making sure that the right things get out and put out in order.
Sure. I'm not really a busy place, so I'm very flexible. You know, you come in late, just let me know because I'm always here. Whether if I'm not working in the restaurant or at the bar, I'm doing my other business dealing. So I'm always here. So I'm very flexible when it comes to that. So that's why a lot of people you see here, they've been here with me at least 2-3 years.
And you know, now you kind of established yourself in the community. You have repeat business from a lot of people. You've built some business both as a restaurant but also as a bar. Mm-hmm. What else do you do to help build up that business? Like, you know, you're also very much in the community as far as like being a politician.
I'm live. You can come through. I'm live right now. I'm gonna call you back. Hi. Sorry, that's somebody else. Another partner called me there.
Nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, as I was saying, you know, you're also like you're very much involved with town government.
I'm very involved in the community.
Yeah.
The community gave me, so it's good to give back. Whether it's my time or sometimes if I can afford or money, or a lot of time we do dine and donate. People come here, they buy food from me, and a percentage go to whatever, whether it's a PTA or whatever. But you know, they give me. Sometimes it's good. It's not sometimes. It's always good to give back. You know, and then you support the community. I give a lot of my time. You know, as you know, right now I'm the president of the Chamber of Commerce of Suffering. I'm trying to I want to build that podcast specifically for small business and Suffering. They can come live come live here, talk about their business and promote their business, and you know, and inspire other people to go into business. That's another thing I'm working on.
So that's something that I think might be an interesting thing is, you know, you're part of the Chamber of Commerce, you're working with other small businesses. Has that networking with other small businesses helped build your business in some ways?
It helps with a good relationship. So it doesn't matter. If I go down the street, I can go to any restaurant. Everybody know me and everybody, we friend to each other, you know?
Yeah.
It's very competitive, but we respect each other, though. Competition sometimes, a lot of time is good. It lets you, okay, you're doing something good, you know. It helps you, it really helps you grow in a way. So we have no hard feeling. Everybody's doing their own thing. And sometimes everybody, a lot of the restaurants, we're so different.
Yeah, like, you know, there's a Indian restaurant now that just opened up across the street. Yes. There's another diner that just opened up in town. So you're not all really competing for the same people because people feel different on what they want to eat on a given day.
Yeah, although it's the same people
that
we share. Some days some people say, I want to go to Diddy's. Next day, they want to go somewhere else because when it's small town, it's always the same people that if they eat out every day, they said, oh, today I want to go there. Next day I want to go there, you know, which is, in a way, I like it. You know what I mean? That's why sometimes, some day I might be busy, some day I might be slow. It's every business is experiencing the same thing. Because we're not like a mall. Every day you see different people. It's like, it's not a big town. We get a few people from Marwa. It's next to Suffern. We have Tuxedo, Hilburn. Sloesburg. We have a few people, but now I'm getting a lot of people from Spring Valley because I do had a lot customer from Spring Valley at one point, but now they're coming back here.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So, and some of the people from Spring Valley are people who knew you from when you were in Spring Valley.
Yes.
So, and now that's the other element of it is you have that built up reputation that like people are now coming to seek you out.
Yes.
Gotcha. What's the next step with everything?
What's the next step with everything? BSP is a little bit specific when you said the next step.
Well, I mean, like you have a restaurant, you have a lounge. You're building your online presence, your tech presence. What do you feel like is your next direction, your next road?
I just keep doing what I'm doing and then keep getting better at it every day. Keep providing good customer service. Keep giving my time to the community, and in return, they bless me with supporting my business, and I'm gonna keep doing that. God knows, God has a plan for me, and then I don't know it yet, and that's why every day I wake up every day and trying to understand the plan He has for me and keep doing what I do best, which is I love to work.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Do you have any other events coming up over at your lounge over in Suffern?
Oh yeah, we are every day we have live music. Yesterday we had a nice event. It was spoken words. It was nice. A lot of people came. It was very nice. But this weekend we have some very good music coming up, and also we have it's called Sexy Sunday Brunch. So we have a live dancers gonna come dance, whether it's hip hop, reggae, every time. So we're trying to create different things. So that's something that's coming up soon. And also I think next week on the 14th we're doing Taco Tuesday, but not just regular taco. We do taco. By taco we mean goat meat.
Gotcha.
And we do goat meat. We do pork, which is griot, and we do a little bit beef or shrimp. We're trying to do different.
That does sound different. Yeah. That sounds appetizing.
Yeah, people love goat. Like in my community, we love goat. So if we do lamb sometime, we're trying to use different meats, not just the chicken or the beef you can get anywhere else.
Yeah.
And we're trying to make it. You get 3 tacos with a drink. $15. Why not?
Now, you actually mentioned to me before you were doing paint and sips where people would come in and paint and you get like an instructor?
That's in the summertime. We did a few sip and paint, and even in wintertime we can do it indoor. As you mentioned, that's something I need to get back because it was very nice. Yeah,
and I know a few places that have done it. It seems to be a very again, a lot like the trivia night thing. It seems to be a way to get people in the room where they're not necessarily there for the drinking, but they will drink or they have something else going on, and it's an entertainment thing for a night of the week that you're not necessarily getting a lot of people in on. So, yeah, I think that those are always great moves for bars and restaurants. Do you have any like final lessons or thoughts that you had from the business experience, especially with the lounge, because that's been the thing we talked about a lot more?
Yeah, I have changed it a lot, because I have changed my menu like a million times. So, and I have redesigned the place like almost like so many times. But now I design it in a way I put more like booth, not high top, because a lot of the client I'm getting right now, they're like older client, 70s, 80s, and then it's hard to sit high. So now that's why we design it and put like little table or a booth so people can feel more relaxed.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the music, I get a lot of those clients. So that's some of the thing I did. And a lot of people like that too.
That's interesting. So you get actually a lot more older clients because you're doing the spoken word and the music?
And the live music. Because whoever's playing, they bring their own follower. Like 2 weeks ago, we had a live music. Somebody, but there was like at least 5 or 6 people that were like 90 in the 90s.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And they're like very supportive, So I said, oh, wow. And they were struggling sitting on the high top. So I said, okay, it opened my mind. You got to redesign it anyway.
Yeah, sometimes you have to make adjustments because your clientele
Yes.
have certain needs and requirements. That's why some people, they can't, if they're they're looking to, if you say you're a physical therapist, you either need to be on the first floor or you need an elevator.
Yep.
My mother, her clientele has that same situation. A lot of her clients are now older to come see her for her job. She's been looking for offices in the past that can, where they can be able to come visit her and do her work, where they don't have to go up a flight of stairs. And even when we've done the comedy shows here, there have been people who've complained about other locations because of certain issues with stairs and things like that. And the great thing about this place is there's no stairs. It's all one location. It's one floor. And again, the backyard is great. The food is great. The atmosphere is great. You're constantly working on bringing in people. You're constantly working with people in the community to try to bring, not just bring people in, but support artists. You're an artist yourself. You did a music video a couple years ago. You have a couple of songs that you worked on.
Yes, I'm trying to experience life. Everything life has to give. I'm trying to experience. I don't want to be known as one thing. I want to live life to the fullest, and meaning I do want to inspire other people in a way, and then just live a good life, because we all know our life is limited, so you just got to give it your best every day.
Yeah, I mean, it could. You never know what's going to end up happening. A year from now, 2 years from now, and we just went through a whole life-changing thing a few years ago.
Yes.
So and you saw that and took that as an opportunity to adjust your business and find a way to focus on one location to help you follow through with a lot of the different avenues and dreams that you have. Any final thoughts before we end for the night?
What's the final thought? So I would say, people, pursuing your dream. Go after your dream by all means. You just never know. It will open new door. You're doing it not just for you, but for other people. So even though you have you fear of something or failure or whatever, you should just give it your best. Go into business. You will definitely inspire other people to do the same. So
awesome.
Okay.
Well, thank you for allowing us to switch chairs, I guess, essentially. we stopped roles here. I'm Walter. You can follow me at BROJO. Death is in the End of Life Punch, a delicious drink you drink in the summer, also known as Brojo Death Punch. This is Mr. Banks Dastine. We've been on talking business with Banks Dastine. We got to hear a lot about his business. We got to hear a lot about, not just his business, but a lot of the lessons you learn in business, whether it's overhead and, how to deal with employees, execution, and failures. And, hopefully there's more discussions to come with that. And thank you for, again, letting me, kind of pilot the ship.
You got it. Thank you so much. It was great. Thank you guys for listening, and stay tuned for another episode of Talking Business with Banks Dastine. So I'm waiting for our next guest. Thank you.